Alright, let's make a quick little update on the week. What have we been doing? This was a very eventful week, like every single week, but it was a very good week. I locked the fuck in this week, which was really good. I needed to do that. I didn't waste I'd say I wasted like 2 or 3 hours in the whole week, which is good. I'm proud of myself, and we're gonna continue that. Let's go into I don't want you guys to see that. Come on, go back. Hold up. Now I have to make sure there's nothing here. Okay. 4:38. I still gotta do some work tonight, but alright. So what have we been doing? I want to show you guys some stuff. Actually, it'll come in time. Just wait. Firstly, I wrote some notes. So what I've been doing is, like, throughout the week, whenever I have an idea of what I wanted to talk about in the video, I'll just write it down so that I can go over it now. So number one, Facebook updates its censorship policy. So, excuse me. Facebook updated its policy on censorship after the election of Trump. This happened like 2 weeks ago. I've been trying to make a video about it, but I just forgot. This is really good for us because that means they're going to be less restrictive on ads. It means black hat stuff. There's no better time to be running black hat ads. And in my opinion, you should always be running black hat ads because, like I talked about in literally the last video that's uploading as we speak, you need a competitive advantage. And one way to do that is to go into something that has less competition, which is black hat niches. And so I've always been for that. Anyway, yeah, so censorship policies are updated, and I actually put a post out on one of the forums that I'm in, and people have already seen that their ads have been restricted less, and their content's not getting any like strikes or anything like that. So it is in effect and it's working. So yeah. Next, funnel. Not sure what I meant by that. Oh yeah, I was gonna go over the funnel, which I just made a video about. So boom, done. You can watch that video, and you should watch it. Next, view from the point of your buyer. Okay, this is something I learned this week, and I guess I wanted to talk about it. Gary Halbert went over this. He's like, you should be like, and so it was also in a couple other books that I've been reading. But like, what selling is, what advertising is when it was first like invented and when it was first popularized, what it allowed people to do was take one-to-one selling. Like, let's say when you go and buy a car, you're a salesman, right? You're selling one-to-one. Now you can do the same thing, but to 1,000 people. And so every single time you write copy, every ad you make, everything you write, you need to think of everyone knows this, but you don't really think about it as you write, and you need to like think about every single sentence. How's the buyer gonna perceive this? And so it's something I've been working on. And yeah, buyers don't like getting sold to. So how can you sell to them in a way that they don't realize they're being sold to? This is something that I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out, and I have some very good methods now, and I'm excited to see what comes from them. Another thing I haven't added on this because I just received it like a couple hours ago, is my website's done, so everything's ready. The only thing I need is to get some more information from my supplier, who I've been talking to, and I just need to get like exactly what products I'm gonna get. I need to get my labeling situation dealt with. I need the sizing for labels, but basically we're there. It just needs to be created, and I spent the last week basically figuring out how to shape this funnel in the best way. And like what I've been reading in the books that I've been reading is that like you want like the actual writing of copy itself is not where the time is spent. Like, yeah, you should spend time on it, but like you need to spend so much time in the background, like the back end, like researching and figuring out your market. And so that's what we've been doing. View from the point of your buyer. No wasted time. So basically, I stopped wasting my time. On my way to work, I have it written out here because I wanted to just solidify it into words so it's easier for me to see. But anyway, when I wake up, from the time I leave, so I basically like outline what my entire day normally looks like and what I'm going to be directing my time to. So when I wake up, I leave between the time that I wake up and I leave for work and school. Usually there's a couple hours. This is going to be spent doing computer work, which is obviously like direct work on my business, which is stuff that I need to be doing on my computer, just like, building the funnel, maybe making edits, maybe reaching out to customers, doing ads, like building creatives. Probably going to spend a lot of time doing that. Hands-on work is what I call it. Next time frame would be on my way to class or on my way to work, on my way to the gym. So my bike rides or when I'm walking. During these times, I've been doing this and I need to continue doing this, is reading audiobooks, because I can read a lot in this time. I spend about an hour riding to work, an hour riding home, 40 minutes riding to the gym, 40 minutes riding back. All my classes are about a 20-minute walk. So these little increments of time, they add up, and I can get a lot of reading done. And the more books I read, the more I can learn about this subject and just go all in and just like really learn everything there is to know about it. And like I said here, even if it's not absorbed completely, because when you're walking, like shit happens, like a fucking car almost hits you and you have to like, or whatever, maybe you're just thinking about something else for a second. Especially with audiobooks, your train of thought tends to wander. But I'm gonna listen to the books twice, or maybe even 3 times, and this will just solidify everything. Let's see, yeah. This is at least like 1 to 3 hours a day of reading, at least. So, next is while I'm at work, while I'm at school, and while I'm at the gym. So these are times that I can't spend working on my business. And in these times, I'm going to dedicate 100% of my mind power to whatever I'm doing. So if I'm at work, I'm completely focused on work. And I'm talking about like Starbucks. I'm completely focused on how can I, do the tasks of the job, make coffee better or whatever. Something I've been doing is like when I'm on the drive-thru, I sell to people. So like people come to the drive-thru and they order drinks and I'll try and sell them food. And I've just had some fun with it, but also like thought of clever ways like how can I get them to buy. And so I've had some ideas. It's more of like a fun thing. How can I make it fun for myself? But really, when I'm at work, I don't have much time. I can't really like be thinking about business ideas. It's just like it's pretty fast paced. So anyway, when I'm at school, what I meant by this is that when I'm at school, I need to be spending my time doing my homework, because any time I have at home is really time that needs to be spent on my business. So when I'm in the classroom, and I've been doing this, I have a little bit of homework to do still outside of work. I got as much done as I could, but also not gonna lie, I skipped a lot of classes. It's only the second week and I skipped classes because I just I was reading this book and I just wanted to finish it because it was so good. And also, I had shit to do, like, on my business, so anyway, I don't want to talk too much about it, but school. When I'm in the classroom, I'm doing my homework, not listening to the fucking lecture. I'm not working on business. It's important because I need to dedicate my home time to working on business, because that's when I can put full mental power on it. So when I'm at school, just work on school. And when I'm in the gym, obviously, I'm not thinking about business. I'm fighting, so yeah. Next. Any excess time. I wrote, obviously computer work, don't be a time-wasting faggot. Agreed. Don't be a time waster. I see time wasters and I judge them. I'll say, you're a fucking time waster, so don't be that yourself. Gary Halbert wrote a good thing on this. He wrote a good, I just read it the other day. I think it's called The Difference Between Winners and Losers. You should read that newsletter. It's very interesting. Basically saying, like, the difference between winners and losers is losers will go and they'll learn all about they'll learn everything, but they never take action. And he's criticizing people who go to college. He's saying that college is the biggest, like, breeding ground of time wasters, because in the first couple months, he's like, anyone who's smart will realize that you're not learning anything from college. Can't agree more. But and you should get out as soon as possible. But he says, like, if you go there, college is not teaching you how to make money, therefore it's negative value. But he also says that like, you're being a time waster by, like, thinking that, oh, I'll go through and I'll learn how to, let's say you're majoring in, like, fucking marketing or something. I'm gonna spend 4 years just learning and not doing it, but just learning, getting a conceptual idea of what I need to do when I get into it. Then when I actually do it, I'm gonna have all this knowledge. But he's saying this is, like, the biggest time waster activity, because he made an analogy of, like, you can tell someone what it's like to go fast. He was talking about a boat, but let's say, I think a perfect example is, like, when you watch fighting. You can, like, watch fighting and tell someone what it's like to be in a fight, and explain to them they can conceptually think, like, oh yeah, I can imagine what it's like to be in a fight. But until you've actually done it, you don't know shit. You don't know anything. The ideas, they just don't mean anything because you've never actually done it. And so it's the same idea here. You need to actually do it. And that's why, alongside reading these books and studying the field of copywriting, I'm also actually doing the work. So it's helping me, like, it's really helping me learn, because as I'm writing, as I'm actually working on my own business, now I'm reading the ideas and I'm seeing how they're put into action. I wanted to show you guys this. And I'm not doing this I'm actually doing this to learn for my own good, not just to, like, show off on the video, obviously. But some papers here. I wrote down, this is something that Gary said to do, and so I'm just experimenting, trying what he's saying, because he obviously knows his shit. But I wrote down every single fact I could find about my product, and I wrote about 2 pages, like, filled the page. I'll show you. Okay, where is it? So I filled the page with facts, just, like, straight facts about the product. There's another one too, here. And then I spent another 2 pages just writing the benefits, all the benefits I could think of. And this is something he said to do. Write the benefits down. Then I have here, which is, he says, write the most enticing offer you could possibly think of, that if you were the reader reading the offer, there's no way that you could say no to it. And I'm not going to read it because it gives away my product, but it is, maybe I can do it in a way. It doesn't matter. It's for me anyway. it's a really good offer. And I would, if I was reading that, you have to make the customer say, like, really? Like, you're gonna do that? Well, fuck it, I might as well. You know what I mean? Something like that. That's a really good offer where it's irresistible to say no to. So I did all that. I also have started to rewrite famous advertisements in my own words, and this is something that, like, I was wondering, like, if it would really help, but I did one last night. It took me about an hour, and it really helps because as you're writing, you like really just like fully in depth understand what the wording is. But not only that, is like as you're writing it down, all the ideas that you've been reading about and all like the background of like the advertising concepts that I've been reading is like I see it in action and now it makes sense. It's like, oh, he's doing this, even if it's intuitive in the writer, like the action, like, you know, what you've been studying, now you see it in action. You're like, okay, now I can utilize this. So it's really helpful. Next is like time that I spend in bed, sleep time, is actually it's something that, you know, you might think is time wasting, but what you want to do, my sophomore teacher told me this, my sophomore chemistry teacher, she said, you should spend 30 minutes before, or like after you spend the whole night studying or whatever, 30 minutes before you sleep, you shouldn't study all the way up to sleep and then go to sleep. You need to spend 30 minutes doing something you love to do. And this will help relax your brain and it helps all the information absorb. So when you're in bed, when it's time to sleep, I've been listening to music because I love music and just listening to it makes me happy. So I've been listening to music that I like. And yeah, that's basically all I've been doing. So trying not to like think about, obviously I'm thinking about work because it's on my mind and I have like an obsessive mind, but you know, as best I can, just like thinking about other stuff. Last thing I wrote here was you need a competitive advantage, and copywriting could be that competitive advantage, or, you know, other stuff. Your ability to sell is basically, you have to, like, the whole idea of selling is building a competitive advantage. And mostly, I think it's like through the angles you take, like how you sell to people, what problems are you selling to? Like, let's say the mass market of a certain supplement is selling to pain, right? Everyone's selling to pain relief. You come in and you sell to people who are dealing with stress. Now, the people who you are selling to haven't been sold this product yet, so it's new to them. Something that Eugene Schwartz talks about in Breakthrough Advertising is that you always want what you're selling to be fresh. Even in the same ad, if you're listing your benefits of your product, they should all be listed in a way that come off as fresh and new. You could repeat the same thing 10 ways, but if you do it, this is how he calls it concentration. It's like you build it, if you build the benefits, the same benefit, but you state it in 10 different ways, you just concentrated that benefit and it's so clear in the reader's mind. But he read it in a way that he didn't realize it wasn't boring, it wasn't repetitive, because you, as a copywriter, your creative writing made it interesting to read and made it seem fresh every time you presented it. And, you know, it's easier said than done, but this is something that you can utilize like in your entire funnel, like throughout the video, your ad creative, all the way to the end. You can build your competitive advantage that way. So, but the easiest way and the first place you need to look is the angle. If you're trying to sell something and it's been beaten over and over again, like selling facial products, right? Let's say you're selling a face lotion and you're selling it to people with acne, they've been sold this same product like 400,000 times. They're not gonna buy it. You have to take a different angle, like maybe like, do you struggle with getting girls at school? Try this facial product, as it will raise your confidence. It's a unique angle. I haven't tested it. I've never sold facial products, but like I'm just thinking off the top of my head, like that's something different. And people who have seen that, you could literally like go off the problem of like you're not confident to get girls, and it's because your face is not clear. And they start thinking like, oh man, you know what? Maybe if I had clear skin, I would start getting girls instead of just targeting the people who are already interested in clear skin. It's just another angle, and then you build upon that throughout the copy, and obviously it keeps going further. That's pretty much it. I read Claude Hopkins' Scientific Advertising. It was really good. I'm gonna read it again. I'm reading Robert Collier's Letter Book, and I've only heard like really good things about it, but it's so fucking boring. I don't think it's that good because it's literally just like, I could see the value in it because it's his winning ads. So you're literally reading like winning ads throughout history, but it's just like, I don't know. I think it worked because it was written in 1927. I think what worked back then is like, it just sounds like all the adverts that you see in like 90s commercials or some shit. It's just like super advertising language, which is like, it's not fresh. So anyway, I'm gonna read Lazy Man's Way to Riches. I heard good things about that. I'm gonna continue to read Gary Halbert letters because those are really good, and they're like, he's a really good writer. Just the way he I don't know, I'm not bored when I read his letters. Like he's making me laugh. It's like fun to read, and there's so much value in them, like what he's talking about. So I think that's it. I have my I showed you guys everything for the week. We're making good progress here. Yeah, dude. I have like, also should add, I'm broke as fuck. So yeah, I have like 7 months. Yeah, something like that. I really don't have that much time. I have like less, really. I have like 3 months, but I think it's gonna work. I think what we have here is something good. Alright, guys.